Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, it's me, it's Dee. Hold on, let me make sure my hair is doing what I want it to do. How are you guys doing? I am back with episode 2. What are you holding? If you noticed, I had I don't know, going live message soon or whatever it's called. Hey, I've changed a little bit, and I have this title now. Well, let's before I get into all of that, let me introduce myself. And I'm working on a new introduction to really highlight what it is that I am pursuing, focusing on, you know, purpose, right? But my name is Darlene Anthony, better known as D, and I am your number one money mindset maven. I'm the founder of Purpose to Freedom, co-founder of Freedom Growers. We are helping families to discover a growth mindset while building confidence, one solution at a time. We are mentoring minds to appreciate critical thinking skills while building knowledge and confidence. So I want to welcome you guys. Hello, Mother dear. I want to welcome you to what I am calling, let me find my little thing here, Therapy Thursday. Therapy Thursday with a dose of D. Now, I can't remember. You have no sound. Mama, can you hear me? Type 1 in the chat if you can hear me. I want to make sure that I can be heard. Shamitra saying she can't hear me. All right, I'm going to pause for the cause to see if those of you can hear me. Okay, so Mama can hear me. Shamitra, what you may want to do is go out and come back in, or click on the screen and there should be a microphone in the right hand corner. Make sure that it is showing on for sound. Make sure that it's showing on for sound. So, sometimes when that happens, you have to completely get off of Facebook and then come back because, it's just wonky that way. I don't know why. But my chat is blowing up in this group that I'm in. I'm like, I'm on my phone right now, y'all. But anywho, why Therapy Thursday? Why a dose of D? Why? Well, it's funny. For such a long time, I started Purpose to Freedom back in 2018. Um, from in 2017, I was listening. So much happened in 2017. I was in a different company. Things I was rocking it, ranks, ranking up, income coming in, all of that, and then something happened and things shifted, and I felt jaded in some of that, and I listened to a broadcast by Lisa Nichols. I vaguely remember Lisa Nichols from the Oprah show from way back when. But when I listened to this particular message, she said something that arrested me. And I know I've used that word a lot lately because it's just things have been happening over and over and over. Things have been just, my eyes have been open to so many things that I have been blinded to. And she said something that, and I can't remember right off this moment what it was. I got it written down in like a memoir or something. But she said something that was just so profound that I said, my goodness, that is me. I have to make a difference. And then January 2018 took place, and I was listening to, that's when John Gray announced that he was going to start his own church. He was taking over this church in wherever he is now. and he was doing his last few sermons at Lakewood Church. And one of the sermons that he did was At the Speed of Purpose. When I tell you everything that he mentioned in that sermon struck a chord with me. Okay, awesome, Shamitra. Everything that he said in that sermon struck a chord with me. And he said, I got to move in the speed of purpose. And he said something that was like, oh, when you know that you're walking in your purpose, and he had the crowd just move either to the left or to the right. He said, that's how fast God can do what he wants to do, needs to do in your life. Just like that, at the speed of purpose. If you're walking in your purpose, if you're living in your purpose, if you're doing what you should be doing in your purpose, God can make things happen just like that. And he's mentioned this Bible verse, and I always forget exactly where it's from. And I guess I should have verified it. It's in Isaiah 55:12 is what is popping up, but I don't think that's it. If y'all can look it up, let me know. But it's this is the way, walk ye in it. That verse just spoke to me. And from that moment, I've been doing different things. So the title for today, and is What Are You Holding? What are you holding? So this is kind of like, here's my idea of what Thursdays will be. I want it to be outside because I got new patio furniture, and it's Therapy Thursday, so it was like the couch theme and all of that stuff, and I wanted to do it outside and just in a different space because I wanted a different look, I wanted a different feel, all of that. But it's raining. Like, and so that reminded me of a post that I made about spring. It's spring. And so what is spring? And I had to write it down. Spring is the sun shining on the rain, and the rain shining on the sun. And so what that meant to me was, sometimes spring is like the sun shining on the rain. So the sun, everything is good. You may be having some a situation, you may be having some hard times, you may even have some tears going on in your life, but the sun is still there. And sometimes you're just as happy as a little lamb, as my mom says quite often. You're happy as a little lamb, and then here comes the rain to interrupt. But do you know that the rain is needed for you to appreciate the sun? And then when you get so much sun, it's like, okay, you've forgotten all about the rain. So I'm going to bring some rain into your life. But it's all designed to help you grow. It's all designed to help you grow. So Therapy Thursdays, yes, I call it Therapy Thursdays with a Dose of Dee. We're going to dig deep into some things that's keeping you from your purpose. What is keeping you from walking in your purpose? What is keeping you from doing the things that you were destined, designed, created to do? I know for me, I've let so many things get in the way. I've let me get in the way. I've let situations get in the way. I've let people get in the way of what I was called to do. And so we're going to unravel all of that. So the goal is to come on Thursdays. We have nothing going on Thursdays, to my knowledge. We have something, throughout the week, either baseball, soccer. Jalen is doing some basketball skills practice and all of that. So, spring, lots happening in spring. So yes, a speed of purpose. Excuse me. Yes, the sun will still shine even with the rain. even with the rain. You start to appreciate the rain sometimes because things tend to grow even more. We need that spring rain. Because hey, May flowers come after the spring rain. There's something that's special about the spring rain. And so it's like I want to take you on a journey. I've been on this process of getting to know me, and I've started, I've delayed, I've started, I've delayed, I've stopped, I've said no, I don't want to know it, because you start to dig up some stuff. But there's so many things that I've discovered that I have been working through, that has just opened my eyes to know who I am, whose I am, and what I am capable of doing. So if you are watching for the first time, drop in the chat, say hello. If you're on, I see there are some people on, say hello. I do want to acknowledge you, acknowledge your presence. Hey, Alita, how are you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. That is my sister from your first, your first time. Yes, because this is fairly new. The goal was to be outside, but I'm in here. So it's purpose time. And I want to take you guys on a journey of the things that you need to release, the things that you need to grow through in order to walk in your purpose. Hey, cousin, how are you doing? That one right there, Mr. Marvin. We've connected, and it's so amazing. Um, by the way, I called you back, honey. But we connected for his birthday, and I said, it's time. And he said, it's time. And we have talked through some things, some just, I guess, those strongholds that have possibly held you back, the things that play in the back of your mind that you're wondering, did that have an effect? Did that do something? What has happened? And it's just a beautiful thing. And so a lot of that stuff plays into what we're holding on to. What is keeping you from moving to your next level? And so that brings me, oh, thank you, Alita. That takes me to the sermon this Sunday. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And if you and that reminds me, if you haven't shared this out, please make sure that you share this out. Invite somebody on, because this may bless somebody. And as I stated, this will be on Thursdays, Therapy Thursdays. We're going to the couch, y'all. We are taking it to the couch, and we're going to talk about these issues. I want to take you on a journey, and I can take you on my journey, and you can be on share your journey as well if something resonates with you, and say, hey, oh my goodness, that I resonated with that. But Sunday, he was talking about what happened. Mr. came in and distracted me. She said, can I take my shoes off? Honey, take the shoes off. Yes, get comfy on the couch, but don't get too comfy. But he was talking about when Moses was at the Red Sea. And even before then, he said, we can't get to the Red Sea until we can talk about how he even got to that space. Every time. I don't understand it. I'm a magnet. I guess I'm a magnet. I am a magnet. How about that? Anywho, so there was a decree, and this was from the sermon Sunday at Koinonia with Pastor Goins. And it just, oh my God. I was like, man, I don't have none of my notes. I got to get this from memory. But Moses, as you know, there was a decree out because the Hebrews were in Egypt and the number was just growing way too big. So Pharaoh's like, we got to do something with these people. And so a decree went out to kill all the male children. Well, Moses' parents were like, mm-mm, he's too beautiful of a child for us to allow them to kill. So what we're going to do, we're going to hide him. So they hid him for as long as they could. But when they couldn't hide him any longer, they put him in a basket and put the basket in the river. And who was in the river? Where my Bible scholars at? Who was in the river? Do y'all know who was in the river? Now, when I finish this story, you're going to shout. Unless you heard the sermon already, you're going to shout, because I shouted. And I was like, y'all, everything that I've been hearing, listening to, and everything, it's been speaking, speaking, speaking. I asked for it, and it's been speaking, speaking, speaking. I pushed it off, but it's still speaking, speaking, speaking. All right, come on, Bible scholars. Come on, Bible scholars. In the river. She said, I don't want to hear, I didn't see the sermon. I don't want to hear, I didn't see the sermon. But you know, God formations have been happening over and over and over and over and over again. And so I don't even know what to call this person. She's a prayer partner. She's a purpose pusher. She is freaking awesome. We talk nearly every single day. And the same sermon, the same post, the same whatever happens. And she's on a totally different path than I am. But the message works for both of us in both of our endeavors. And she said, we out here. You know, Pastor Todd, Mike Todd, had his sermon, his series, Anchor. And you know how you're in the deep. You can't put an anchor out if you're in the shallow waters. It serves no purpose. But when you go out in the deep, that's when you put your anchor out and you just out there in the deep. And so that's our phrase that we say to each other when either one of us are like, I can't do this. I can't do this. We get into what are you holding on to in the sermon. And so, yes, God formations. And so our phrase is, so we out here. We out here. We're going to do what we were called to do. No matter what it looked like, no matter who is with us, no matter who's against us, we out here. So none of my Bible scholars told me who came and synced Mr. Moses when he was a baby. So Pharaoh's daughter came and saw the baby in the basket and said, what she said, God form. Ooh, yes, indeed, Marvin Anderson, Pastor Marv, Prophet Marvin. God formations and God formations, both of them, both with the two F's, both of them. Yes, that's our phrase, hashtag, so we out here. And so that's what, hey, so we out here. And so Pharaoh's daughter came and she was bathing, you know, getting her bath on, and saw, oh, this one of the Hebrew children. One of the Hebrew children. And oh, he's beautiful. And she took him. But in the scripture, it says, when they could hide him no longer. When they could hide him no longer. Why they couldn't hide him any longer? Because he grew. because he grew. Okay. Now, why is that significant? You've been unknown. You've been, let me take that off of you. I've been the unknown. I've been hidden. I've been the best kept secret, and I've been hidden. But what have you been doing in the hiding, in the hidden part? What have you been doing while you've been hiding? Because the hiding was intentional. Have you been growing? If you still in hiding, have you been growing? It don't matter who has seen you, who haven't seen you, who knows about you, who doesn't know about you. Have you been growing? And so in order for you to hide no longer while you were in hiding, you should have been growing. That I was like, oh my lantern. I can't even remember what the title of the sermon was. I posted it somewhere. But when they could hide him no longer, they put him in a basket and she found him. Make sure while you are in your hidden season, I gotta find it. I gotta find it because I did a post. Hold the line. While you're in your hidden season, don't worry about all the people that's getting their just due. They seem to be doing this, that, and the third. And you still, it seems like you're stagnant. It seems like you're stagnant, but you're really not. You're growing. I want to say the bamboo plant doesn't grow for 5 years. Y'all can Google it if you want to. I may butcher this up because I don't have no notes in front of me right now. But it grows after those 5 years of what appears to be nothing happening. It's doing so much work underground. It's doing so much work underground. Yeah, 5 to 7 years is growing underground. And then at the time that it finally peaks above the ground, it's growing. Oh my goodness. It takes absolutely no time. It's almost like it just shoots up. It shoots up. And it's strong and sturdy. That's what's happening to you, honey. You're underground. You may be hidden, but I hope you're growing in the hiding. And my internet won't let me be great right now. So we're gonna say wait. It won't let me be great, so I can't find it. Yes, I posted it because that one took me out. That one took me out. God is doing something great in your life, but what's holding you back? What's holding you back? Lack of confidence? Looking at what everybody else is doing? Worrying about the next person? What did God call you to do? And this is me talking to me. I personally have been sitting on an abundance of ideas, of workshops, seminars, retreats, you name it. I've been sitting on them, just sitting, waiting for approval from somebody else. From somebody else. When God has already given me the God formation and the God formation. We always say that we're waiting on God, but He's giving you everything that you need. He's waiting on you. That's it, growing. All plant life grows in the ground first. Absolutely. And if you notice, my logo is not by happenstance. It's the lotus flower. If you know anything about the lotus flower, it's a beautiful flower. Beautiful. But it comes straight out the mud. Straight out the mud. Excuse me. And that's me. Straight out the mud. Now, we had a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. It wasn't a big pot or a big window, but guess what? We had one. We had what we needed, but it was murky and miry, and it wasn't the best. But hey, I'm here, right? I am here. And even out of even out the mud, I was able to grow. No matter how dirty that water is, no matter how muddy it gets, that flower is still going to do what? Open its petals and praise God for the sun, because it's looking for the sun. And if you ever notice plant life as they grow, if they grow a little to the left, that's because I guess this is your left. I don't know. I'm going to the right. But if it go this way, that's because the sun is over here. If it goes this way, that's because the sun is over here. If it goes straight up, that means the sun was there. So it's going to go towards the sun and open up the petals. So the lotus flower, and it came from a friend of my sister-in-law's, and I hadn't, didn't know, I don't know about, I got a brown thumb, not a green thumb. I don't know a whole lot about flowers, but when she mentioned the flower and was talking about the flower, I started doing my own research about it. It opens up in the daytime, and then at night it retreats, goes back to the dark, into the mockingbird. But then when the sun comes back out, it opens up again. Can you let go of that dark and gloomy past, that dark and gloomy feeling? What is that thing that is holding you back from being your best self, from doing the things that you have your vision has been clear? But what's been holding you back from doing the things that God has designed you to do? Now, this is for me, because I got journals and journals and journals of stuff, of thoughts, of visions, of all kinds of things that I've just been holding on to. But tonight is the night. I'm already a woman, but now I'm going to be the woman that walks fully in her purpose. And I won't allow anything to hold me back, not even me. And I have my girl in place. I was like, "You killing me, Smalls." But she said, "Hey, we out here. We out here. The world needs what you have. The world needs what I have." And that goes for you too. The world needs what you have. Only you can give them that. And I just saw a post today that said, God woke you up this morning and gave you another day, not for you, but there's someone else that needs what you have. there is someone out there that need what you have. And she posted me now, and she sent a laughing thing because she already know if it's something that's supposed to be in my purpose, and she do this every single day. I'm like, I avoided that post on purpose, and every post that I avoid, she always sends it to me the same day. That's when I know that it's a God formation out the mud, honey. Let me look at y'all comments. So many people were mud in my life, but they could never keep the sun from me. Ooh, that is deep, Alita. So many people were mud in my life. Mm, thank you, cousin. Teach tonight. Minister, then, ma'am. Oh, what is holding you back? Absolutely. What people think, um, what it might look like, what it might not look like, um, what people might say. How many of you have that story? How many of you have played that in your mind? It's like a tape going over, tape recorder, whatsoever. It's just playing over and over and over and over. Don't keep saying that it's for the listeners too. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, it's for you. It's for you, you, and you. Even you that's not even commenting in the chat, it's for you too. For my replay watchers, yes, it's for you too. For those of you on the podcast, it's for you too. Absolutely. This message is for all. What you gonna do with it though? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. It's a dose. It's a dose. So who would be interested no longer in hiding? Who would be interested in a workshop? This has been on my heart for some time to work your purpose, but in order to work and walk in your purpose, you have to heal some things. You have to let go something. You got to release some stuff. So, really, really soon, I'm working on a workshop, a kind of retreat, just a 1 day event where, and sorry, fellas, it's going to be for the ladies. This first one is going to be for the ladies. But, um, you know, it's going. We want to talk about some things that we need to heal. Sharing my journey is what I'm supposed to do. I know it is because there's so much of me in me that has occurred, that I know can help somebody else. And I'm supposed to be that beacon light. I'm supposed to look for that person that is like me and show them that there is a way. There is a way. So, yes, workshop is just a 1 day event where we will have some pampering going on, but we want to get to the root, the deepness, the deep things. Um, Talk about different things relating to women, to relating to healing, relating to walking in your purpose. But you got to release some stuff. You can't take stuff from 20 years ago with you. It can't affect you. It's a part of your story. It's a part of how you get to where you need to be, but we can't dwell on it. We can't allow it to hold us back. What are you holding on to that you need to release? Hey, Cheryl, what are you holding on that you need to be released? You got to release it. You got to release it. We are healing for purpose. Healing for purpose. I am not the same person that I was, it was 3 years ago now. I'm not. There's some things that I've let out of my system. I've been holding on to that daddyless girl thing. Even the death of my dad, I've been holding on to. And my mom is on here, and I'm going to say this. I've never mentioned it to her, I don't think. But I was holding on to the death of my grandfather, and I blamed me for his death. And that sat with me for a very, very long time. Um, why? As a little girl growing up, and then I'm going to let this go. Growing up, you hear, and I'm sorry, Mom, if you're just not finding this out, but, here we go. Hey, this is Therapy Thursday, right, you guys? So I'm being vulnerable right now. And I don't, shut up, Donnie, just go. Anywho, hearing that my grandfather died not long after he heard that my mom was pregnant with me. And so you hear that. And I heard it, and I heard it. Hey, Shoshana. In case you guys don't remember, I turned 45 last Thursday. You were outstanding with your well wishes and everything. Thank you so much for that. So he died the December. And Mom, if you want to put the date in the chat, what day did you tell him? And what day did he die, if you don't mind sharing? But my mom was 5 months pregnant with me, and her dad passed away, my grandfather, not long after he found out that I was pregnant. Not I was pregnant, that she was pregnant with me. And I've known that story, and I've internalized that story as saying, okay, so he found out that she was pregnant, and then he died. He found out that she was pregnant, and then he died. So as a little girl growing up, I internalized it and to say, wow, was I not, well, let me just put it out there. Was I responsible for that? I know now, I know today, I know as a, um, I don't know what word I'm looking for, a reasonable adult, that it was not my fault. But, you don't think about that growing up. You just hear, he found out, he died. December 18th, he found out, and he died on the 22nd. And I was born in April 8th. So 4 months later, he named me. He always wanted a Darlene. So my name comes from him. But you just play this story in your mind. What crazy story have you been playing in your mind? I had nothing to do with my grandfather's death, but I made it my fault. It's crazy. I made it my fault. And then I thought about it, and this was very recently. I said, you know what? I think I asked my mom, I asked somebody, do I remind you of his death? Do I bring sadness to you when you look at me sometimes? And I think as a teacher, I look at all of this with my students. And I think that's why I make such a big connection with my students, because I think about the stuff that I internalize. It makes no logical sense. But in the mind of a child, it makes a lot of sense. And so I wonder, do I remind you of his death? But then I say, but you came to help heal the family. And so now I have to go back and rewire those thoughts and say, because of you, you were able to help heal your grandmother. Because of you, you were able to help heal your mother. Because of you, you were able to help heal your aunt. Because of you, you were able to help heal your uncles. Because of you, you were able to heal the hurt. I had no intentions of doing this. Anywho, but that's what I tell myself now. That you came here, even though it was an accident. I never consider myself an accident, so that has never been a thought in my mind. Whew. This is a sock, by the way. I never thought I was an accident. Never, ever, ever, even though the act was an accident. But now I say, you were the healer. You were the healer. Absolutely. That's good. That's good. Oh, I need some tissue, Lord. Oh, here's a towel. This what happens when you don't have notes. This is what happens when you don't have notes. But I love to come off the cuff. I love it's authentic, it's real. I don't have not a note. I had an idea and I said go live. Isn't that causation? We instinctively look for a reason. Absolutely, Shoshana. We look for a reason because our brain is designed to search, to look for something because we don't have the answer. Instead of asking, we don't, we just make up the answer ourselves. Thank you, Cheryl. Hey, it's Therapy Thursday, y'all, right? It's Therapy Thursday. Healing for purpose. But I had to release that feeling. It was a part of the thing that's been holding me back. Never an accident, purposely planned by God in his time. Absolutely. I wouldn't take a thing back. Would I have wanted to meet my grandfather because I've heard some amazing things about him? Absolutely. But if I change one thing, I change every single thing that has happened from December 1975 until April 15, 2021. It could go better or it could be worse. It could be worse. Thank you, Mother dear. I was not an accident. No, absolutely not. Thank you, Lita. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we are. We are in this together. Thursday. Therapy Thursday with a dose of D. Absolutely. Yep. We have to be careful with the what if. What if? All right. So I hope tonight has brought you some value. I hope that there was something that was said tonight that will get you to thinking about what you're holding on to. What do you need to release so that you can walk fully, in your purpose? It's Therapy Thursday, y'all, with a dose of D. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your attention. What you say? Oh, yeah. Have a great evening. See you guys again next Thursday. Bye. I love you too, Mother dear. Thank you so much.